you want to make any comment about this Lincoln Project ad?
Yeah, no, I saw it.
The end is coming.
He thinks he's God.
They should call it the Losers Project.
Let's lay that into rapid response.
It's former Republicans, current Republicans.
We have a particular set of skills.
These are old school rhinos who want to defeat Trumpism. Just trying to peel off about 4%.
Joseph R. Biden is elected the 46th president of the United States.
Nobody cares. They care about what we did in 20 and what we're going to do in 22 and 24 and beyond.
Here's the key. There's nothing noble about us, but we're useful.
Right now, we got to tweet that out.
And if you really believe this is a fight for democracy,
I see a civil war coming.
and if you believe it's an existential fight,
This is the year we are going to take back America.
Have you been following the Lincoln Project's intense assault on Trump? Donald recently had a strong reaction after watching their latest parody ads. Imagine yourself back in court, feeling the pressure and unease. That's exactly how Trump must have felt. Uh-oh, there's that uncomfortable warmth. That's the pressure down there. In those moments, Trump could have used some adult diapers. It's clear that Trump is heading towards legal trouble. And the Lincoln Project, a group of moderate conservatives, is committed to making his journey as humiliating as possible. In this video, I've gathered the 7 most impressive ads from the Lincoln Project. If you dislike Trump and appreciate clever humor, you're in for a treat. Grab some popcorn because these ads are both funny and sharp. Make sure you don't miss the 7th one. It's guaranteed to leave Trump speechless. It's becoming increasingly evident that the Trump we once knew is fading, and even his staunchest supporters are starting to notice. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. The Lincoln Project is here to provide a masterclass in political satire, and you won't want to miss a moment of it. After each ad, get ready for more. The Lincoln Project's relentless campaign against Trump is further strengthened by the additional context and background information we provide. Our first advertisement transports viewers to the origins of this endeavor, laying the groundwork for the ongoing and unyielding efforts to challenge the former president. Through these supplementary details, the impact of our messaging is amplified, delivering a more comprehensive understanding of the project's objectives and motivations.
Well, they're going to be just fine.
You never heard of this. All of a sudden, it's got the world aflutter.
We only have 11 cases, and they're all getting better. This is their new hoax. We have lost nobody.
Whatever happens, we're totally prepared.
The Lincoln Project, a group of disillusioned Republicans, was recently formed to hold President Trump accountable and safeguard democratic values. This advertisement highlights their core mission: to challenge Trump's divisive leadership and realign the party with its long-standing principles of integrity, respect, and constitutional fidelity. The ad underscores the group's determination to address what they perceive as Trump's deviation from the Republican Party's fundamental ideals, which they believe has been detrimental to both the party's reputation and the nation's democratic foundations. Ultimately, this message reflects the Lincoln Project's commitment to restoring the GOP's traditional values and promoting responsible governance.
States and cities across the nation have shut down restaurants and bars.
We pretty much shut it down.
And another brutal day on Wall Street.
Press is in hysteria mode. I didn't do it. I don't know anything about it.
The U.S. is under a national state of emergency.
We did shut it down, yes.
The number of confirmed cases continues to surge.
I think that we're doing a great job.
Hastily arranged airport screenings.
The Lincoln Project was founded on 3 core principles. First, they believed in integrity, concerned that Trump's conduct and leadership undermined the moral and ethical standards traditionally upheld by the Republican Party. They pointed to instances of perceived dishonesty, conflicts of interest, and disregard for the rule of law. Secondly, they emphasized the importance of respect in political leadership, both domestically and internationally. The group viewed Trump's often abrasive and divisive rhetoric as damaging to the culture of civility in American politics. Thirdly, the Lincoln Project criticized Trump for perceived violations of constitutional adherence. They expressed concerns over his handling of executive power, his relationship with the judiciary, and his approach to the system of checks and balances. In their unfit advertisement, the Lincoln Project highlighted Trump's questionable decisions and actions, which they believed rendered him unfit for office. It serves as a reminder of the troubling behaviors and actions that occurred during his tenure.
Anybody that wants a test can get a test.
Heat kills this virus.
We don't have enough tests.
And I think it's going to all work out fine. I don't take responsibility at all.
The ongoing COVID-19 pandemic has exposed Donald Trump's inability to lead effectively. Addressing a public health emergency of this scale requires a leader who makes decisions grounded in science and expertise. Regrettably, Trump's response has been characterized by the spread of misinformation, the dismissal of the virus's severity, and a lack of a cohesive strategy. This has led to preventable loss of life and extended economic struggles. It is now essential that Americans speak up and demand responsible leadership that can steer the country through this pivotal moment.
Flag of the United States of America.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
To the flag of the United States of America.
And to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for Trump.
From initially disregarding the virus as a minor concern to endorsing unverified and potentially hazardous treatments, Trump's actions have sown bewilderment and mistrust among the public. His reluctance to advocate for mask wearing and social distancing further undermined attempts to curb the virus's spread. Additionally, the administration's failure to scale up testing and provide sufficient support to healthcare workers worsened the crisis. The economic fallout has been equally devastating, with millions of Americans losing their jobs and businesses struggling to survive due to inconsistent and inadequate federal responses. Trump's prioritization of the stock market over public health measures has led to a fragmented and ineffective pandemic response.
Amidst of the worst economic crisis in decades and with COVID's death toll rising, Republicans have delayed vital economic support for American families. They don't care that tens of millions of Americans are out of work, struggling to pay rent, and that local food banks are strained to the brink. Times have never been harder, and people are hurting. What's the delay? Mitch McConnell wants to protect big companies who are taking advantage of the COVID crisis by giving them immunity from accountability. That means companies could cut corners, expose workers or their families to infection, or rip off consumers without any consequences. With the economy on the edge, it's time for Mitch McConnell and Donald Trump to put people first, for once. Call them today. Remind them, if they won't protect Americans now, we'll vote them out this November.
The COVID-19 pandemic has laid bare the vulnerabilities and shortcomings of our nation's leadership. It is clear that we, the people, must raise our voices and demand a new era of accountability, transparency, and decisive action from our elected officials. The challenges we face are immense, from the devastating public health crisis to the economic downturn and social upheaval, and only through strong, principled leadership can we navigate these treacherous waters. It is time for Americans to reclaim their rightful role as the driving force behind our government. We must hold our leaders to the highest standards of integrity, competence, and commitment to the common good. No longer can we tolerate the self-serving agendas, partisan bickering, and lack of foresight that have characterized too much of our political landscape. The stakes are too high, and the consequences of inaction or misguided policies are too severe. Through well-informed, transparent, and resolute measures, we can hope to alleviate the pandemic's toll and set our nation on the road to recovery. This means demanding honesty and accountability from our elected officials, ensuring that critical decisions are made based on scientific evidence and expert advice, and mobilizing communities to support one another during this time of crisis. The third advertisement scrutinizing Trump's associations and affiliations is a crucial step in this process. By probing the true nature of his loyalties and allegiances, we can gain a deeper understanding of the driving forces behind his decision-making and the potential conflicts of interest that may be shaping his actions. Only by shining a light on these issues can we make informed choices about the leadership we need to guide us through this pivotal moment. The time for passive acceptance is over. It is our collective responsibility as citizens to raise our voices, hold our leaders accountable, and forge a path forward that prioritizes the well-being of all Americans. Together, we can overcome the challenges before us and emerge from this crisis stronger, more resilient, and more united than ever before.
Impetus americanus. Notable for its exotic plumage, the trump is typically a ruddy orange color, not found in nature. Though Impetus was once considered an alpha predator, this elderly specimen now weighs somewhat over 300 pounds due to its diet of fast food. In its youth, it was known to pursue females with other predators like Molestus Epstein. Now it focuses on exploiting its home territory, the United States. Impetus americanus is known to be a master of deception and considered the most corrupt of its species. Its tweeted cries of anger are meant to distract its prey from its failures as the leader of its pack. Impetus americanus is considered endangered this November due to its own incompetence and...
This advertisement scrutinizes Trump's international diplomacy, shedding light on his contentious associations with global leaders. It suggests that his foreign policy choices may not always prioritize American well-being, raising concerns about his intentions and the potential influence of foreign parties during his presidency. Trump faced backlash for his connections with authoritarian figures and his often strained relationships with long-standing allies. The ad examines his interactions with individuals like Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un, which many perceived as jeopardizing American principles and security. The advertisement also evaluates Trump's management of significant crises during his term, highlighting what the Lincoln Project deems as his shortcomings.
He's made it very clear. There's no mystery to what he wants to do.
He's told us what he will do. People who say, well, if he's elected, it's not that dangerous because we have all of these checks and balances, don't fully understand the extent to which the Republicans in Congress today have been co-opted.
The future of the Republican Party, I mean, it depends on whether Donald Trump gets elected president again. If Donald Trump gets elected president, I mean, the party is Donald Trump. It's in every respect a reflection of his character.
The Republican Party of today has made a choice, and they haven't chosen the...
This political ad aims to scrutinize and challenge President Trump's capability to effectively lead the nation during times of significant national crisis. It suggests that his approach to crisis management was often reactive rather than proactive, indicating a lack of foresight and preparedness. The ad highlights instances where his responses to major events, such as natural disasters and the COVID-19 pandemic, were perceived as lacking in coordination and empathy, ultimately exacerbating the severity of the situations instead of resolving them. The passage reflects a broader criticism that Trump's personal character and leadership style were not well suited to providing the level of competent and compassionate guidance that was desperately needed during these challenging national emergencies. It suggests that his tendency to prioritize personal interests, engage in divisive rhetoric, and resist expert advice hindered his ability to unite the country and inspire the confidence necessary to navigate such crises effectively. By drawing attention to these perceived shortcomings, the political ad aims to undermine the public's trust in Trump's leadership abilities and to present an alternative vision of presidential leadership that prioritizes swift, coordinated, and empathetic crisis response. The ad's narrative seeks to contrast Trump's approach with the type of leadership that the electorate may have expected and desired during times of national adversity.
Constitution.
And the fact of the matter is, he is unfit to be president.
He is not the lesser of two evils. He is a completely unfit man for office. He's already shown us what he would do, and he can never be near the Oval Office again.
And that's why failing to speak out against him, making excuses for him, pretending that somehow he's a victim, empowers him. You want to know why those poll numbers are where they are? Because folks like these three guys on the stage make it seem like his conduct is acceptable.
This thought-provoking ad examines how Trump's personal conduct and characteristics have shaped his public image and leadership capabilities. It delves into the polarizing nature of his brash, unapologetic style, which has both attracted and alienated various segments of the public. The ad highlights specific moments from his public appearances and speeches that have generated extensive scrutiny and debate around his temperament and suitability for the highest office. At the core, the ad addresses concerns related to truthfulness and misinformation during Trump's time in the spotlight.
Donald Trump's conduct on January 6th was a supreme violation of his oath of office and a complete dereliction of his duty to our nation.
His conduct is unacceptable. He's unfit, and be careful of what you're going to get. If you ever got another Donald Trump term, he's letting you know, I am your retribution. He will only be his own retribution. He doesn't care for the American people. It's Donald Trump.
Regardless of political affiliation, it's evident that Donald Trump has exhibited concerning authoritarian tendencies. This ad seeks to challenge his credibility and honesty by examining instances where he has been accused of spreading misinformation. It showcases moments where his statements have been fact-checked and found to be inaccurate. The issue of misinformation became a significant concern during Trump's presidency, with numerous claims and statements being debunked by fact-checkers. This ad emphasizes the crucial role of truth in leadership and the detrimental impact of misinformation on public trust and policy. It's designed to leave Trump and his supporters without a convincing response.
I am starting to regret my vote for Trump. I know, you guys, I know. I can overlook, and I'm okay with the blatant racism and the crass sexism and the deranged narcissism and pandering to Nazis and supporting pedophiles and proudly bragging about being a sexual predator and openly cheating your employees and mocking the disabled and praising murderous dictators and the constant pathological lying, the petty vindictive cruelty, the staggering ineptitude, the unapologetic corruption, the nepotism, the mob ties, encouraging violence against those that question your authority, the theft of our tax dollars to pay off your mountain of debt and or go golfing. Did I mention the relentless lying? You're a liar. Being a white nationalist, demonizing immigrants, the obvious disregard of the Bill of Rights, lying about whether Russia had hacked our election when you knew all along it had, then lying about it.
This thought-provoking advertisement has sparked widespread discussion as part of the Lincoln Project's ambitious series. Its powerful and emotive presentation is designed to evoke a strong reaction, leaving viewers and critics alike deeply impacted. The ad pulls no punches in its critical assessment, aiming to provoke a visceral response from the audience. The Lincoln Project's aggressive campaign against Trump is exemplified in this attention-grabbing ad, reflecting the heightened political tensions and deep divisions within the country. It seeks to galvanize opposition and emphasize the high stakes of the upcoming elections. The organization's primary mission was to prevent Trump's re-election and minimize his influence on the Republican Party and American politics. To achieve this, the Lincoln Project employed three key strategies: political advocacy through hard-hitting advertisements highlighting Trump's perceived shortcomings and the consequences of his actions; voter mobilization, encouraging traditional Republicans, independents, and disaffected voters to vote against Trump; and educational campaigns informing the public about the importance of upholding democratic principles and the risks posed by Trump's behavior to these principles. The aim was to realign the Republican Party with its traditional values. The Lincoln Project's latest ads have targeted critical aspects of Donald Trump's leadership, employing shrewd wit and stinging satire to shed light on the high stakes for our democracy. These ads advocate for fiscal responsibility, sound economic policies, and responsible government spending, while also highlighting the importance of a robust and principled approach to national security and international relations. Additionally, they champion the principles of limited government intervention and the protection of individual liberties. By sharing these impactful messages, the Lincoln Project aims to inform and engage the public, empowering us all to stay informed and make a difference.
We'll be right back.